Hey, Composer Gloves here, and today we're going to talk about how to make a minor triad chord. Man, breathe. So, it's just like the major triad. Now, I found this option because I did try and look up how to make these things flats, and I was unsuccessful. In fact, I think I found that you can't do that. But what I did find was you could go to help and you could do a detect scale option. So as long as you write down some of the scale, the grids will be highlighted in a manner that detects the scale on average, what scale you're using. So that was kind of a cool option. So I went for that. But they really should add this flat thing. Like they have the sharps. Why not just make it so you can have an option where they're flat instead and you can change them? I just don't get it. So a major triad. So we've already talked about how a major triad works. And see, now that it's all the white lines, or not the white lines, the lighter lines are the C major scale because it's detected it from the C major triad, especially since it's our first note, our first chord. So we have C major, and we've talked about how this is a major third. This is a minor third, or we could think of it as a major third and a perfect fifth. So in the minor triad, it's simply backwards. So you have a minor third and a major third on top, or you could think of it as a minor third with a perfect fifth still. So it's that simple. It's literally that easy. Now, the scales once again get convoluted because of the way the sharps work, but let's write another one. So let's write an E minor triad. So we have E, and now we need a minor third, which would be a G, and now you need a major third from G because they're stacked, so that would be a B. Now, let's make it major. All you have to do is move this G to a G sharp. Now we have a major third and a minor third on top. This is very, very important that you understand this because it creates some cool variations. So for example, check this out. Let's do something like a C minor, and we'll arpeggiate it or break it up. So we'll go C, E, D. Well, E, I think of it as E flat because C minor is far easier to think of as three flats rather than this ridiculous sharp situation which comes on later, which is all from the product of written music. Man, I was reading a comment today about how someone thought, because I was looking up how to get flats in FL because I just couldn't find it in the manual, and someone was like, it's completely unnecessary, and I was like, I wrote out this big long comment on Reddit that didn't let me post because it was old, and I was gonna freaking eat all these people who were saying it was unnecessary because I'm like, you guys know no theory, like, at all, because no one in the right mind thinks of things in like sharps all the time. That's like stupid. So hopefully you should understand it by now. But let's go C, and then we know our minor triad is this because it's a minor third and a perfect fifth, or a minor third and a major third. So we can now go minor, and what we'll do is go up and down. So go, and we'll do that twice. I just feel like I want to include this here. And now let's make it a major triad over here. Actually, let's do two full measures of it. So we'll do that, and then we'll clone it. And we'll make all of these a major chord. And all you have to do for this is simply make these an E natural. Now the scale shading on the background sort of got me a little bit because it was thinking we were working in a minor. And over here, we just changed it. So now it thinks we're working in a major. I don't know. I've never worked with this background scale option before. This will be an interesting ordeal. It still thinks we're working in minor, I guess, because we have the first chord in minor. I haven't looked at the highlighting in background. I'm just guessing. So, okay, here we go. So this is something cool. It's called minimalism, depending on if this is writing style and form and stuff is different. But you can make a minimalist piece on these sorts of concepts. Yeah, fun stuff. So you could do that. Now we're going to get into way more complicated progressions than that, but just using major and minor, we could do some pretty cool things. Let's make another minor chord. Let's make an A minor chord. Well, let's do something a little more difficult. Let's do an F sharp minor chord. So F sharp, now I'm a piano player, and so sometimes as long as I have a piano in front of me when I'm working, which is like 90% of the time, I can just, hit it. And I have my chords. I've got all my inversions memorized to do all these exercises. So reaching out and just hitting the chord is a billion times faster, which is a bad thing for me. I should be able to just think of the notes in the chord but it's just a product of playing the piano. It's just, I've done those exercises so many times. But as a result, I visualize the piano in the intervals as I'm doing things, which is a benefit if you learn piano. They have a huge benefit. Piano people are exceptional at theory because that's pretty much all they play with is music theory if they're an improviser. So we have F sharp, minor. So we need a minor third, which would be an A. And now we need another minor. Well, now we need a major third. My bad. From A. A major third would be a C sharp. If you think of the A major chord, it would be A to C sharp. And so I sort of have, now you're starting to see sort of how I see things is whenever I'm working and I'm like thinking of intervals, I think of them in major and minor chords. And then I build my tritones off that. So like, for example, the tritone to C major, I know it's F sharp just because now it's like that, but I would think C, what is my perfect fifth? C to G. Well, if I play C major triad, it's C, E, G on the piano. And I know if I go down from G one step, it's F sharp. So I know it must be F sharp. Or for example, this one, if we wanted to know what the tritone was, we'd go, oh, here's the perfect fifth. So it has to be C. And so that's how I kind of see things, and it's much faster. So this is a F sharp minor triad. Make it a bit longer. And if you wanted to make it major, you simply move the third up to make this a major third and this a minor third. So it's very, very sort of a cool thing. Now we're starting to get into the ideas of tension and release and making things happen. But this is super, super basic. But this knowledge is like stuff that is totally, in my opinion, essential for music creation. If you have any questions, let me know. Subscribe and have a blessed day.